yourself and listen to what the Jewish mother says. Okay. All right. So the hotel is basically ready for us. So it's just a matter of going. By the way, before I continue, can you guys see there's a town by this hill?
Yes.
We will be passing this town again. It's the ancient city of Jericho. Yeah, ancient city of Jericho. And we're not going to go into Jericho because we do not have time to circle around for 13 times. Remember, you have to do that before you get in, don't you?
Yes.
If you want to be biblical, of course.
You've been walking down already?
Yeah, well. But anyway, we will be passing this by again on one of our traveling towards the Dead Sea. So this is Jericho, and we are taking Jericho-Jerusalem Road. We will be bypassing Jerusalem, and don't worry, we will be staying in Jerusalem for 4 nights. So you're not going to miss anything of Jerusalem. We will try to eat in a small community before Jerusalem to avoid people, and so it will be something comfortable for you. Those are tourist camels, now you realize, right? We will, by the way, we will have a camel experience. We will have a camel ride. It's all paid for. Whether you get on, you get off, everything will be covered, so you don't have to worry. It will be a short ride for those who still are missing those camels. So they will do. What day? Is it really important?
Yes, on yesterday.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'll let you know Monday. Monday.
What day is today?
We're curious. What day is today?
Folks, let me tell you what is it today. It's sabbatical for you. In other words, it's Shabbat, everlasting. The word sabbatical comes from the word Shabbat. Okay, so you are on vacation. You're on sabbatical. You are resting.
Yes.
And so it doesn't really matter which day is it today for the rest of the humankind, like me and Uri. But for me and Uri, it's Wednesday. The whole day, we say the entire day, the 10th of October. Okay?
Tishrei.
Yeah, it's yes, it's Tishrei 5,757. Okay, year. Okay.
What is the shekel exchange rate?
The shekel exchange rate is 3.8 shekels for a dollar. It's almost 4. Oh, but not quite. Okay, not quite 4. 3.8 shekels for a dollar. What I would suggest to you folks, since we are going to the civilized shopping mall, they are ATM machines there. Get some shekels. The machines will spit out shekels, not dollars, shekels. And I would highly recommend you to get some. You don't have to get millions and millions of shekels, but maybe an equivalent of $100, which is how much?
About 400.
About 400, yeah, about 400 shekels, 385, 400 shekels, and that will allow you some oxygen, right? We'll give you some shekels. That it's not a lot. Trust me, Israel is very expensive country. I'll give you one reason for that, just one, and it's pretty serious, not a joke. It's a serious reason. I will give you the price for the gasoline for petrol here. I'll do it for Americans in gallons. It's $8 for a gallon of petrol. So you can imagine that everything is jacked up here. It's quite expensive country. Okay, like a meal at McDonald's. Like when you order a meal, you will pay about $12 for a meal. All right, all the complaints to Mr. McDonald's, not to me. It's the chain.
By the way, it's cheap in Australia.
What's the price of an average hamburger?
Hamburger, I'll tell you what, it's about $7. It's about $7. Yes, $7.
About $2 hamburger.
Yeah. And let's also make an agreement. When we say dollars, it's dollars and not shekels. And when we say shekels, it's shekels, not dollars. They're two different currency. and the exchange rate is 3.8 shekels for a dollar, almost 4 shekels for a dollar. All right, so that's what Australian, I believe, is almost the same, right?
Yes.
It's almost the same. So we will just stay with American currency here and say
No.
dollars or shekels. Sometimes you will see on the price tag NIS, which is an acronym for New Israeli Shekels. That's what we call our currency today, because we had a reform about 30 years ago, and it's called New Shekels now. Okay, so NIS, when you see it says NIS, that's in shekels, and if you break it roughly by 4, you will have an American equivalent. That will make your life a little easier. Is this comprende?
Yes, comprende.
All right, very good. I'm glad that this we're getting through this one. Okay. Another thing, friends, have you noticed it's pretty warm or pretty hot? And I will Jewish mother you on this one. Drink water. Please make sure that you drink water. Here's what you can do. If you have a bottle of water or a flask, you can always refill it at the dining room, at breakfast, or at dinner with cold, filtered water free of charge. Okay, you can drink tap water as well, free of charge, but it's not as cold as filtered, water. So that's drinkable. That's fine, no problem whatsoever. Uri has a little refrigerator where he sells bottles of water like you have. That's for $1. Okay, one bottle will cost you $1, and I'll give you the reason for that. Remember, Bible says that this is the land of milk and honey, but nothing about water, it says, right? So the water will cost you $1. If you want to, please leave $1 in a little basket, small basket. You can just help yourself and leave $1 and take the water. The only small request I have, we cannot exchange quarters or change here. You can leave paper money, okay, but the coins are no good here. There's nothing we can do with it. We can only collect it. Okay, so if you want to pay Uri for something, that's paper money, if that's okay. All right. It's all over. It's a rule all over Israel that we cannot exchange change. Okay, so any paper money is okay. Australian, American, Canadian, no problem whatsoever. But change is no good. All right, so that's the only little thing to remember.
When you pay in US, do they normally give it back in shekels or?
It depends. Sometimes they give you in shekels. Sometimes they give you in dollars. Sometimes they will not take American money. Like in the shopping mall where we go into now, it's not a touristy place. It's a local community, and we don't use dollars. So it's all in shekels.
So you do Visa and Mastercard.
So you can do cards. Yes, no problem. Very, very easy. You do cards. Sometimes you pay commission to your bank. Sometimes you don't pay commission. It depends on the bank that the card is coming from. All right. Sometimes there's no commission at all. So it's very easy to use the card in many places here in Israel, except the bazaars. That's the only place that I would be very cautious and not to give them your card details. All right, like the bazaar. You're familiar with those bazaars in Egypt?
Yes.
All that. That's cash only and big time bargaining. All right, because they will try to take advantage of you, but you can be very careful with the plastic money. Okay, I have cases when they would add a nil, instead of 300, it will be 3,000, things like that. So we want to avoid that.
How near the bazaars and shekels or you put all?
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Whatever. Talking about the bazaars and all that, let me tell you that the souvenirs here, all the Holy Land souvenirs are made in China. Okay? So I hope you're realizing that. And the best place, the cheapest place to get them will be on eBay. And there's a free Wi-Fi here, and you can do it right from the bus if you want to. However, there will be 2 places that I would like to take you to. One shop is run by the Jewish Christian community in Tiberias, so we'll stop there if you're interested in some Judaica Judaica, whatever you pronounce it, Jewish paraphernalia stuff. Okay, so you can shop out there if you want. And the second time in Bethlehem, for the sake of one thing in Bethlehem. You guys familiar with this olive wood carvings with the nativity sets? All of it, and I mean all of it, is produced in Bethlehem. All of it comes from Bethlehem, from the Arab Christians that are doing this for the last 400 years. The Jews don't know how to do that because they don't have customers for this. It's a Christian market usually, so it's the Christian Arabs that are doing this. And we will stop at one of those places that is very reputable. You can pay with a card, you can choose, you can bargain. It's all kind of kosher, as we say. All right, so there will be two places. All the rest is you on your own with us. Okay, send my wife an email and she will answer all your questions concerning shopping, free of charge. Okay, so that's this. What else? Folks, Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. So you can ask any questions you like, any political questions, anything you want to know, anything and everything. And let me just warn you, where there are two Jews, there will be 5 opinions. But that's very, very typical for the Jewish folks. So you will choose between 5 opinions if you like. But it's kosher to ask any questions, anything. Don't even hesitate. It's really cool. It shows me, for example, that you guys are interested in something, and I'll be very, very happy to make a comment. It can be longer than shorter. Those are Bedouins, the same type of folks that came from Jordan, like in Jordan, the same type we have. But we're not going into the Bedouin mall. All right, we're going to the Jewish mall.
Photos of military stuff.
Photos are okay. It's kosher to take anywhere you want, except one thing. We will be oftentimes going through the checkpoints. Can you please do not take pictures, take pictures at the checkpoints. Other than that, no problem whatsoever. It's just fine.
Even military?
Even military, no problem. You will see, let me tell you that we will see lots of military in Jerusalem on excursions. Like
wait.
Yeah, there's a little patrol here. My daughter is in the army. She's going to graduate from a sergeant school next Wednesday. So we are going to go. Me and my wife and my other kids will go, and we'll take lots of pictures. So you're all welcome to come along with me and take some pictures of the graduation for a sergeant. She's getting more stripes than Dad. You see, she's very proud. So it's okay, and you'll see lots of soldiers like that. Yeah.